Welcome to the tutorial on deploying the Wirepas services using the Containerized Application Lifecycle Management feature on Orchestra. In this video, we'll show you how to streamline the setup of your Wirepas network by using Orchestra to deploy services to all your Edge IoT devices in just one click. Instead of having to configure each gateway individually, you can now use Orchestra to deploy them across all your Edge devices at once, saving you time and resources. For this tutorial, we've set up brand new devices in the field and are now preparing to deploy Wirepas services on them. Currently, these devices have no active applications. We'll confirm this by using the docker ps command in the terminal on Orchestra. Begin by creating a new fleet. Assign it a name and choose the devices you want to include. Your fleet has been successfully created. The devices are listed at the bottom of the page. Now, let's go to the Compositions page to create a new composition. Press the Add button and assign a name to your composition. Your new composition has been created. Now, let's create the first version. Each version must follow the semantic versioning rules. Enter the version number for your first release and upload the Docker Compose file. For a sample file, refer to our documentation at docs.orchestra.cthings.co. Click Create to finalize the process. Next, navigate to the Fleet page and add your composition to the fleet. Click the Add button and select your composition from the drop-down menu. Go to the Composition page. Let's take a look at our example Docker Compose file. Some variables are pre-configured, while others need to be set up. You can either define them directly in the Docker Compose file or use the Orchestra Variables feature to define and manage them more comprehensively. Let's introduce variables for Orchestra to manage. In Orchestra, variables can exist in different contexts. Device, specific to an individual device. Fleet, applied to a group of devices. Composition, tied to a particular application composition. Global, applies universally across all devices and compositions. Variables follow an inheritance hierarchy where the order is global, composition, fleet, device. This means that more specific contexts, such as device, can override variables from broader contexts, like global, if the same key is used. Switch to the Variables tab. Currently, there are no variables set for this composition. Let's start introducing variables related to MQTT. Press the Add button, then provide the key and value. MQTT is a lightweight, publish-subscribe messaging protocol that enables efficient, real-time communication between Wirepas gateways and the Wirepas backend, ensuring seamless data flow and control. Wirepas leverages MQTT to reliably manage gateway configurations, monitor gateway statuses, and facilitate services like over-the-air updates, making it ideal for resource-constrained environments. To enable this, you will need to configure the MQTT host parameters, such as the hostname, port, username, and password, which can be found on the server hosting your Wirepas backend. This ensures a secure and stable connection between the gateway and the Wirepas backend. The set of variables includes MQTT hostname, MQTT username, MQTT password, and MQTT port, which can be found on the server hosting your Wirepas backend. Since all devices in our fleet have the same model and version, we will define these variables at the fleet level. Let's go to the Fleet page and create variables at the fleet level. Let's go to the Variables tab. You'll notice that the inheritance has worked, and the fleet has inherited variables from the composition. Press the Add button and enter the key and value for the gateway model and version. All the necessary variables have been added at the fleet level. Now, let's go to Devices Variables and verify if the device has correctly inherited variables from the composition and fleet. Next, add the device level variable, Gateway ID. Continue adding the Gateway ID variable for each device in the fleet. Now, let's go to the Fleet page. Go to the Releases tab. Currently, there are no releases. Next, go to the Compositions tab. Select your composition and click Create New Release. Select the composition version we previously created. This version will now be deployed on all devices in the fleet. A release has been requested. It may take a few minutes to deploy across all devices. We can see that the status of devices is now reconfiguring. In the Releases tab, we can see that our new release is marked as active. Finally, go to the Fleet page. Here, we can see that our composition has been successfully deployed on all devices. In this video, we've shown you how to deploy Wirepas gateway services using Orchestra CALM. For more information, visit our website or contact us at support@cthings.co.